Thanks for joining us on TRT World. Now, the opposition in Senegal wants voters to vote them in to prevent the president from running for a third term. Do you think voters have been heeding this call?
It would seem so. Tensions have been rising in the last few months ahead of this election, partly because of fears that President Sakima might want to change the constitution. If his party keeps hold of the 75% of the legislature, then that will make it very easy and possible for him to change the constitution. And we do know that a recent similar situation happened in Cote d'Ivoire, where the president went for another term against all expectations. So the fear from the opposition is real, but Senegal has always been a very dynamic country, a lot of political, consciousness on the part of the citizens, especially young people. And on each in Senegal's history, during the time of President Diouf and Abdoulaye Wade, each time a president wants to sit tight in office, civil society groups and citizens have always got together to force or even vote out that president. And that gives me hope that even whatever happens from this legislative election, the citizens are on active watch, and any attempt by the incumbent president to change the constitution in the aftermath of the legislative election would lead to an Arab Spring moment for Senegal.
Olawale, you talk about Senegalese having a lot of political consciousness, but the country's also been affected by the global economic crisis. People are also angry about the rising cost of living there. How will that have affected this vote?
Yeah, that will also play, into that. Each country in Africa, a lot of African countries are going through a very rough economic patch at the moment, not just because of COVID, but also the global downturn in the economy. And this has fueled, anger because most currencies on the continent, including, in Senegal, the price inflation is up. There is scarcity of basic goods, and and unemployment rate, have increased, and all of that. And all of these have, played in. Senegal also has a huge youth population, a huge youth board, and the young people tend to feel the impact of this the most. And all of this is playing out or has played into the build up to the election. There has been a lot of tension in the last month or two ahead of the election, not just because of the suspicions politically of the president, but also because of huge. And this is not limited to Senegal. You look at Ghana, you look at Nigeria, you look at Ethiopia, you look at Uganda, you look at countries in Africa where the economic, crunch is really biting hard. It normally produces political consequences, or it has implications for the politics of the country. So Senegal is not an exception in that regard.
Absolutely. It will be interesting to see the results of this election. Olawale Ismail, live to us there from London. Thanks so much for your analysis and your take on this.